All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Lake Protectors Podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Canay, and joining us today is Forest Ranger Chelsea Geyer.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming, especially early in the morning. We
No
appreciate
problem.
having you come out, especially having a local forest ranger to come and share some stories and knowledge. So first things first, thank you for coming. And why don't you just start telling us about your background, how you ended up becoming a New York State Forest Ranger?
Yep. So I started with the DEC as a wildlife technician.
Okay.
So I always wanted a job that had me outdoors and active. And with wildlife technicians, a lot of those jobs are seasonal.
Yeah.
So when I started with them, that was actually one of the first times I met forest rangers. I did not know about them beforehand. I did grow up hiking and camping, but I grew up downstate. So there was more of parks presence versus DEC state land. So when I was working as a tech and I was deciding what I want to do with my life at the age of 30, I did some ride-alongs with a couple of forest rangers, one out of Newcomb, so a little touch of near the high peaks, and then with the Washington County lieutenant and forest ranger to get a couple of different areas and perspectives. And it's like, this seems like a pretty cool job. And get out in the woods, you're hiking. I like helping people. So I wanted to kind of be on the front lines as well. So that's what led me this direction.
That's exciting. Now, how long have you been a forest ranger?
Coming up onto 4 years soon. It was a later in life career change.
That's exciting. My first introduction to forest rangers, really, I was a seasonal DEC campground worker. So typically when we're calling forest rangers, there's an issue, or sometimes like they would stop in as like that would be their base if there was a much larger issue going on locally. But that was my first introduction.
Which campground did you work at?
Luzerne.
Yes,
so
I
right in
that
your
one.
neck of the woods.
It's a pretty quiet one. You don't have
It wasn't
too
always
many.
like cut back 10, 15 years ago. There would be the most bizarre. My most memorable, we had like 2 horse, because of course you can have horses at that campground. So we had 2 horse incidents occurring at one time, but not real. Like the workers, rangers, were all not realizing that we had 2 situations. Like we had a woman fall and break her shoulder, and having to like run through the woods to find her and cutting logs and whatnot to get her out of the way. But what a testament to the forest rangers, because within 20, 30 minutes, like they had her safe out of there and, you know, in the dust of like every other person there whose head is still spinning trying to make sense of what's going on. So a lot of, work with rangers, but everyone, it was always handled so efficiently. So, well, 4 years on the job between Luzerne Campground, Buttermilk. That's huge.
No, it's been fun. Something different every day.
And coming off of the busy season. So, of course, we wanted you to come out today. Busy season, of course, and I think is when everyone thinks like the most stuff goes on in the woods. But in my mind, I always think of like in the summertime, there are so many people out and about in the woods. So if something happens, there's at least usually like an eye, an ear that can address it quickly. But of course, it's hunting season. Hunting season, I think the weekend just opened, like the regular season just opened up.
Just opened up for deer.
And then we're coming into winter, which I always get like really nervous with wintertime things. So we wanted to invite you here to just talk about like how people can be safe in the woods, particularly hunting season. I mean, I still like to go for walks in the woods, but of course it's hunting season. So what should people do to really be as safe as they possibly can be while still being able to enjoy the outdoors and recreate in our beautiful Adirondack area?
So we do have a database of hunting-related incidents, and I don't believe there's too many between hikers and hunters, but it's always great to think of how to be safe. Number one is wear something bright. I recommend all hikers wear some sort of fluorescent orange, either a hat or maybe a t-shirt or even something just hanging off of their backpack. Or fluorescent pink as well is an option. That just makes sure you are bright and seen. If you are going hiking with your dog, definitely keep them on a leash or under your control. And I always put bright orange on my dogs as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Just so I've seen too many people with dogs running loose. They technically should be on a leash. But as long as they're under your control, you don't want them running through the woods.
Yeah, and mistaken for something else.
Yep.
Also for the safety of like other,
Other people.
other people and other animals that are in the woods. I know
Yep.
you cover buttermilk. My friend and I often will refer to about 10 years ago, we decided to go for a twilight walk in the woods with her dog, who she was off leash. She still lets that dog roam, or a different dog roam off leash. But we were coming up on this trail. We're like, oh, this is a beautiful night. It's like January. We're finally getting a shrivel of daylight extra. And it was so evident that like a pack of coyotes had just run through this area. Like her dog's going crazy. We can hear them in the distance and are sitting there like, she should probably
What type of dog is
maybe
it?
not leave. He was a big old basset hound.
Oh, yeah.
So not the quickest.
They take
tiny
off,
little legs.
though,
Tiny little. Oh, he does, and he
I
did.
have a hound.
Yeah.
If he's always on a leash, but if he gets off, he's gone.
Yeah, but like those types of things. So definitely have some type, like even if you do lose sight of them, so that you can pretty quickly orient yourself and hopefully find them quickly.
Yeah, it's safety for the dog. I mean, as a hunter, you should be having your target in sight and acknowledging what it is. But, my general rule is always think the person is not going to, keep yourself safe and your dog safe. There is actually also a law that if your dog is running a deer on state land or land inhabited by deer, someone can legally shoot your dog.
Oh my God.
So that is a law.
Okay.
If it's chasing a deer.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now, state land around here, like all of our public parks, like the campgrounds, are they all considered hunting land? Like, is state land all hunting land?
So most state land is. Yeah. There are some parcels that prohibit any
like
discharge of firearms. Which you can usually find online or call your regional office if you're looking to hunt. For up here, examples are there's a parcel down in Saratoga County where you can legally hunt.
Okay.
But it's very small.
Right.
So there are portions where you're going to be within 500 feet
of a home,
of a
dwelling.
Home.
So, Okay.
But otherwise, most state land, you're free to go. Campgrounds, technically, no, you cannot.
Oh, that's good to know. I have caught a few people. And when I say that, I mean, I'm also in the campground then too, but I'm walking. So, yeah, I'm just walking. I know my way around that place pretty well, but like Buttermilk, Hudson River Rec Area, you can legally hunt in.
Yep.
And again, I know it is pretty frequented. I was just out for a walk there maybe a week and a half. Actually, it was quite warm, like a week and a half ago. So utilize
For the most part, if you're just sticking to heavily used or used trails, marked trails, hunters aren't going to be there. So stay there. Maybe now's not the best time to go bushwhack on an adventure.
Stay to the well-beaten path.
Yeah.
Now, with hunting season, I mean, we're in upstate New York, so we're prime where we could get snow like tomorrow and then it'll be 80 degrees again. But with winter season, what can people do to be safe? What should people be carrying in addition to what they might be taking on summer hikes, recreating, whatnot?
So we always preach the 10 essentials.
Okay.
I know I've done a few outreaches in the area. I don't know if anyone listens to me, but so this is all year round. Yeah. And then winter just adds an additional layer, as it always does. So things like fire, light source, layers, first aid kit, nutrition, like food and water, emergency kits and emergency shelters. So hiking in winter, you're just going to have extra gear. Yeah. Always have light source. The days are shorter. I mean, people get caught out in the summertime without a light source. Cell phones are not good light sources.
And they die.
Nice
lantern or tack light or something.
Yeah. So always throw a headlamp or two in your backpack, extra batteries.
Okay.
So if you're caught out, you have a light source to get you out. That's really one of our number one calls that we go to, or at least in our area, or folks that misjudged how long something would take, and then they're caught out at night and need help getting out. Layering is very important. Hypothermia, I mean, even on warmer days can set in really quickly. So then when you're dealing with colder weather, it's really important to layer up. I'm bad about it. I'm very stubborn, but know when to take things off. So I hate being cold. So I start off really layered up. And then the moment I'm walking uphill, I'm like, oh. And I think I finally learned I'll just like, all right, let's stop. I need to layer. And what you're layering with is important. So cotton kills.
Cotton kills, heard it since I was a kid.
So synthetic materials or wool. And I mean, you don't have to break the bank to invest in these things. Go to Walmart. You can find synthetic.
Or even like Goodwill.
Yeah.
There's really great wool and, you know.
And there are secondhand sporting outlets that, you know, you can get like some pretty high quality stuff on a budget. With those. I forget what the one in Vermont is called. And I think they have one in Albany now. Is it Sierra Trading Post?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's one down near Albany now or one of those where people will sell their lightly used outdoor equipment.
Awesome.
And you can get some pretty good stuff there.
That's great.
But yeah, just layering. I always bring extra stuff. So I'll bring an extra base layer. So if I do get sweaty, I can change that. So when I'm walking back down.
And then it can maybe dry too.
Yeah, I'm just not covered in sweat. I have Raynaud's, so my hands don't do well in the wintertime. I don't know why I live in New York, but I always have to have many different mittens and gloves, hand warmers, toe warmers, things like that.
Oh, the little poppy.
Shake them.
Yeah.
And I always keep them in my gloves.
Now, do you see more or less people that carry like the Spot or like the satellite type of phones?
We've definitely gotten more calls with like the Garmin, that emergency which is definitely a good thing to bring along. Cell phones, a lot of them will have, if you're an SOS, you can call 911.
Okay.
I believe the Garmin works pretty well.
It does. My sister and I like force pretty much anytime he leaves the house, we're like, you take this with you, especially now my dad's a hunter and like, you know, it's a nerve-wracking thing. There are people that have gone missing locally and still to this day have not been found. And it's like, you know, don't want to have that situation and certainly minimize, like something can happen so quick in the woods. You fall, you break a leg, you know, just trying to mitigate any of those things.
Even seasoned, experienced people can have an accident. So
I made the proclamation last year in this office, and I think time stopped, that I thought that the High Peak should be closed in the wintertime because it was coming, like literally time stopped. Everything got like, you know, slow. I was about to get lightning struck on, but it was after there was some incident where I'm always thinking of like, yes, someone's out there, and yet, you know, we're sending out dozens of forest rangers who are not also now at the mercy of the elements and the mountains to try and find someone. And a lot of these rescues are not easy. Like there's helicopters involved. You guys might be walking in feet of snow. So I'm going to take it back because we have the proper safety tips, but you know, I'm sure you have had some really rough rescues in the winter and not in the winter.
Yeah, and the High Peaks is a completely different beast. So those guys they have a lot going on up there. And last year there was that big search on Allen Mountain.
Yes.
And I believe that individual was relatively experienced, did High Peaks, did winter High Peaks. And I mean, that was rough. I mean, I was in the command post, so I wasn't in the field for that. But you were seeing rangers coming back who tip-top shape. They're great, and they were getting beaten down.
Right, like maxed out.
Yeah. You know, they would have to end up spending the night in the area. Just they were so tired they couldn't even drive home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a rough one.
So
they get a lot of things like that up there.
Probably pretty consistently when it snows, and of course up there the season is a little longer with snow and ice. And
already,
I know I just saw this. It was weekend or Friday something where like people were posting that there was already snow up on Whiteface. So
and that's a thing to consider, just because the shoulder seasons, just because there's no snow at the trailhead. Be prepared for if you're hiking into elevation. And when I was younger, I am a victim of that. I started a hike. There was no snow. It was April. I was hiking into Faro. I was going to backpack and stay at a lean-to. And I was hitting pockets of snow up to my knee. My feet got wet. We got to the lean-to. It was windy. I was like, this is miserable. And we luckily, I mean, I was in shape. We had plenty of food. It was all fine. But what was a 9-mile day turned into an 18-mile day with a heavy pack. Luckily I learned my lesson without any major issues or fatalities, and I can learn from it and laugh about it a little bit, but not everyone is that lucky.
No, you're really at the mercy of the elements. So certainly always want to make sure that everyone is safe. Even up here in Lake George, we have Prospect Mountain. We have a lot of mountains around the lake, and the quickness with which things can change. Prospect is a relatively easy hike, but you're like hiking slate.
Yeah, and all those rocks.
Slabs half the time. So something that could look really dry and easy, like suddenly you step on it and maybe it's a cool morning and that's icy. Yeah, like frozen water.
We get a decent amount of calls there, and luckily it's a relatively easy rescue for the most part, since there is a road going up to get people out. But a lot of sprained, broken ankles.
I was just going to say, is the most common thing a sprained ankle?
There's a lot of ankle injuries. But with winter, especially now, you always want to throw like micro spikes in your pack.
Yes.
So if you're hitting ice pockets on the way up, for the most part, micro spikes are what you can go with.
Microscope, they changed my life.
Yes, they're great.
I mean, and I have like
don't work.
No, I have like the good spike ones, not the spring looking ones. And I'm someone, I've had 2 ACL surgeries, so walking on ice for me is always like a really shifty. I'm just living in fear all winter.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Spikes, I've like run across ice. Like, look at me now! Oh my God, literally changed my life 2 winters ago. To the point where like my friend and I, one of our favorite times to go up to the bear slides is the middle of winter. Pending there's not a foot of snow where you'd have to like snowshoe to get to the spikes, but it is so nice to be able to enjoy these places where there aren't loads and loads of people.
And it gets you through a nice long winter.
Exactly.
Some folks will use crampons, but that's for more backcountry or steep. They're more aggressive. That's for more like steep slopes. I always, if I'm hiking somewhere, I'll throw snowshoes on my pack if I don't need them right away. Just you don't know what you're going to run into. High peaks, if it's 8 inches or more, you're required to wear snowshoes.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It's a law.
Good to know. But like not everyone always does, I'm sure.
Post-holing, which makes trails a little more difficult for people. You can risk rolling your ankle in those holes.
Now do you guys just do like forest rescue? If there's something on the water, do you guys come out for that as well?
Yep. We get called for pretty much anything. So state land rescues, lost hunters, even if it's private property. Water rescue. Yeah.
Like if someone went through the ice or whatnot.
Yes. So my zone, which covers Warren County. It's currently out of commission, but we have an airboat, so that is a boat that can drive on ice.
I've seen
so that ours is out of commission right now, but we do have some others floating around. The region. So
yes, I remember when I worked at the campgrounds, they would stash it at Luzerne Campground if there was a rescue. And occasionally, every summer, there's usually something that pops up. And
otherwise, we're
a few days
to do any sort of rescue if people fall through the ice. Whenever I'm driving through Luzerne and I see everyone on that river with no ice right next to them.
I know, like close to it.
It's always be cautious when you're on ice over running water.
I know. I used to go out there as a kid too. Like crazy.
Yeah.
Even Luzerne like makes me a little more nervous, less so because it is, shallow and even this morning, like you could see the fog trying
4 inches, it's primarily safe, but thickness can change in different spots as well. So you always just want to be cautious.
I stayed to my pond with 2 feet of water that is frozen from November through about April.
Yeah. And if you are going out ice fishing, you can get what's called, I don't think they're called ice picks, but I just carry them. And so if you fall through, you can they're pressed down and then they'll kind of like nail into the ice.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
I should have
good to
brought
know.
some things in to do a
No,
little
that's
show and
okay.
tell.
We appreciate you. I mean, coming anyway. So,
Oh, yeah, no.
What is your favorite part about being a forest ranger?
I really enjoy helping people
Yeah.
on what is probably one of their worst days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, and I like being able to educate. So the woods are for everyone to recreate, and I think it's great that more people are getting out. So if they were unprepared and made a mistake, we help them out, and it's nice to
Things happen.
encourage them to prepare more and get back out.
Yeah.
Not be afraid to.
The most prepared person can be subjected to like a blink of a moment incident that they had no control over. So, absolutely.
Everyone can fall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. More so, when you're out and about and exhausted, like some of these hikes are just being in the woods can really take it out of you. So, or in the sun,
Yeah.
There's every aspect of it that can lead to whatever happens. So I love that.
Yeah, we do see a lot of people who are not prepared with enough food and water, and that can really bring your mental status down and make mistakes where you usually wouldn't be making them. So, and especially in the winter, water. I'm never inclined to drink as much, but make sure you're still drinking enough water. Maybe add electrolytes. I always bring something warm, like maybe some hot tea, or I'll bring like a little bone broth in a
Warm the
thermos.
body. Yeah, definitely.
Just make sure you're hydrating.
You live locally in the Adirondacks. Like, what's your favorite part in the Adirondacks?
Ooh, that's
like, what do you like to do? You're you are basically doing what other people would consider recreating, like from day to day, walking through the woods for some of what you do. But what do you like to do in the Adirondacks?
Oh, well, I love hiking. I am a new deer hunter.
Okay.
So I've just started the last couple of years. So that has gotten me off the trails more, bushwhacking. But I love a good overnight camping trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite spot?
I loved Faro, Cranberry Lake.
Oh,
Up that way.
Yep.
Really nice. I love the high peaks, but they're so busy, so I avoid them.
No, I know. I think that's like what there's certain areas where you're like, that's why I generally avoid buttermilk in the summer, except for my one spot, which I will never tell. But there are, it's nice that people are out recreating and enjoying it, but it is kind of nice this type of year. It's like, we got it back. Like, we got our spots back.
I know. That's why I'm like, ooh, what should I say I actually like?
Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm very strategic with it because I don't want anybody to, I don't want to show up to my spot next year and not be able to use it for days on end.
Yeah. And I'm lucky I get paid to be out in the woods. Yeah. My one dog I was telling you about, the hound, is horrible. So I feel like on my days off, I'm like, we just have to avoid people. So I don't go out on a lot of the state land that people are out on. Because
they'll run.
Yeah.
And catch a
likes to bite people when he's on a leash too. So
yeah, you don't want that happening, especially on state land. Well, also just wanted to, bring up, you are a woman in a male-dominated field, which we love to see. We're so happy to have you here today. But when you are out on these rescues, whatnot, like everyone's the same. You guys are just helping people just the same. So we love to see it. We'd love to see more people do it. I know you mentioned doing outreach. So what type of outreach do you do within your, purview of, you're not in the woods? Like, what is it that you guys are doing?
Yeah, usually it's school events.
Yeah.
So for me so far, I've done a lot of career days.
Yeah.
Is Sarah?
Yeah, my sister.
Yeah, so I've gone to her classroom and I've gone over hiking safety.
Yeah.
Some kids are into it, some aren't. But I've helped out in Washington County. They do a lot of fire prevention outreach as well. Yeah. Everyone loves Smokey.
Of course.
So bring Smokey to some things as well. Yeah.
I've been a part of many a Smokey birthday party. and seen a lot of people in the costume. When I worked at Luzerne Campground, we'd like throw them a birthday party every
we
year.
haven't done that in a while.
And we'd have, we had a couple tall boys that worked for us for a few years. So there'd be like a 6'6" Smokey. And then when they no longer worked, we'd have like a 5'3" Smokey that had to wear platforms in the costume. So Smokey alters year to year, but that's fun. Right. I mean, and we want to see more people. Is there a shortage of forest rangers right now? Like, is this a career that people could,
Oh, yes.
go into? Yes. Yes. Shortage of forest rangers if you are interested.
We've had some promotions. We're about to have quite a bit of retirements.
Okay.
So we're definitely looking for people.
Okay.
We have an academy coming up. It's supposed to start in March next year.
Is it every year that the academy goes on?
No, it's been every 2 years recently, but it also depends on funding. I think there was a big gap between some academies with lack of funding. But it's been pretty consistently since I've joined every 2 years. We have a test coming up in November that has closed already for signing up. But if people are interested in it, so it's a civil service. So you have to take a test and have qualifications. And they do change. So right now it is any bachelor's degree. So it used to be you had to have a certain bachelor's degree to get on. And right now it's any bachelor's degree or military with mix of experience, things like that.
So you don't need to be like conservation, natural resource. It could be English, math, like across the board, any 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So if people are interested, I would definitely head to New York State Civil Service website, and they can sign up to get alerts for exams.
Okay.
So when the next exam is coming out, they can just...
We can link that in our show notes too for folks. Like anyone who's interested, they should certainly... Yeah. So even if the March Academy is full, people can keep an eye on it. So when the next one pops up, they can basically they can go through the qualifications and be working towards it so that when the next one comes up, they can try and jump in on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how many people graduate each year with the academy?
It all depends.
Probably how many enter versus how many graduate.
I was in one of the largest academies we've had, and it was the first one we did separately. So it used to be an academy with the environmental conservation officers,
ECOs,
and forest rangers combined. So my academy, there was one in 1994, I think, that was separate. But so ours was completely separate. I don't even know how many people we had, but it was like, I think it was 38 people graduate. So it was a big one.
But it's statewide.
Yes.
So 38 people, and then that gets
Throughout
dispersed.
Yeah, wherever we have openings. Our last academy was 9 people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we have 20 slots for this one.
So we need more forest rangers.
Yes.
And this one is just forest ranger or also ECO?
It's just forest ranger. Okay. Yep. So we're primarily based in the Adirondacks. So it's starting, we partnered with SUNY ESF.
Oh, great.
We're using their Newcomb campus and their Cranberry Lake campus. And then we have some classes out in Oriskany out in Western New York for more of the technical.
And there's still spots open?
No.
Okay. So for this March one, there's no spot. Oh, I mean, I guess that's a great
years
thing.
Ago. So we are a police academy. So it is a couple-year process from when you take the test to when you start the academy. It's a full background investigation.
Right.
You do a polygraph with the state police.
So it's things. Do you have to get tasered?
No, we don't carry tasers, but we do get OC sprayed.
Okay, which is like the
horrible.
pepper spray, bear spray.
Some people tolerate it a little bit more, but
no one wants to willingly. I mean, you do what you have to do, of course, to get through your academy training, but because it is a very real possibility that anyone in a position could end up sprayed.
It was horrible
at any given time. So certainly don't want that.
No.
Well, I just want to also go through and do you have any really fun stories that you'd like to share? Oh, I'm sure there's a lot that pop off up at Buttermilk and the Hudson River Rec area. Also the campgrounds.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, fun-wise, we get paid to train. So I came onto this job pretty much, I hiked and backpacked. So I didn't have a lot of the technical experience.
Okay.
And the guys in my zone are great about getting us out. So we do Swiftwater training every year, which if you didn't grow up doing that, it's a different
Swiftwater, like if it's like a moving like river.
Yeah. Yep, like the Hudson.
Okay.
So like, I don't know. Did you ever do the Gorge trip up there? It starts at Indian Lake and takes you down to North Creek.
I've never rafted up that far, but I have in through Hadley.
Yeah, there are some big rapids up there.
I'm sure. Yeah.
We do like hoist training.
So like a helicopter.
Yeah. Ooh. So I think we're supposed to go twice a year. And some people get to go every month. So if you're not a hoist operator, the people that are going are like the dummies for them. So you just spend the day getting lifted up. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Things like that, like ropes. Yeah. I had no experience with climbing or belaying. So coming in, I found out I might have a fear of heights, but I've worked through it.
That's good.
Everyone in my zone has been super helpful.
Yeah.
If I'm like, let's get out and do some ropes, I'm getting paid to train and belay down some fun stuff.
That's cool. I think I'd be a little nervous for that too. What's the most intense search you've ever been on?
Let's think. I don't know. So I was on the Cena search down at Moreau, the little girl who was abducted. Yep. So that was a long couple of days. So luckily that
really emotionally draining as well. But with a outcome that
yes,
we want.
It was see. Most insane. I guess I might have like a weird sense because I'm like, nothing's insane. I was recently on the search for Melina up in Ticonderoga.
Oh, yep.
The father who is currently being charged with murder. And that, obviously not the outcome you want, but it's always good to get closure.
No, but the composure that you guys have to keep in such high stakes emotional events is really commendable because not everyone can do it. It is not for the faint of heart. You guys are also searching through these rugged terrains while keeping in mind, like, eye on the prize, what you have to do. So it is really admirable. And, we are grateful in New York State to have a fleet of forest rangers like you and, conservation officers as well that are out on the ground. And like you said, in your worst day, these are the people that are waking up at 2 a.m. to come help you or whatever it may be.
Yeah. No, and the forest rangers definitely, I can speak for, are great. If you're on a search that maybe could affect your mental health, I've been reached out to. I know coworkers are like, they reached out to me to make sure I was doing okay.
So afterwards. There are systems in place through the state for you guys where like if there's something really harsh.
We have a crisis management team if someone needs it.
That's great. It is, human nature to be affected by something regardless of the job. So, but again, you guys show up every day and it's really admirable to be able to, sit here with you as you've seen some things that are not great, but you show up with a smile and you're out doing career outreach and trying to get more people to join you guys. It's not for the faint of heart, but my gosh.
I know. Yeah.
You guys are really the boots on the ground and helping people when they need it the most. So
thank you.
We really appreciate you coming out today, Chelsea. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hope to not see you in a
yes, that is always the dream.
In a bad state. That won't be me. Fingers crossed. I'm never going to see you that way, but hopefully, in other ways. And certainly, we just discovered that your mother-in-law works for us. So come out on the floating classroom anytime you want. She's great. Come out, see her teach, show you how to measure water clarity and catch plankton. And
how delightful.
She's great. So thank you so much, Chelsea.
No problem.
And we will see you guys back soon. The Lake Protectors Podcast is a production of the Lake George Association. To check out the work that the LGA is doing, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Lake George Association. You can also visit our website at lakegeorgeassociation.org. This episode was produced by Jacqueline Mignot. If you'd like to hear more, follow us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.